It is week 4 of the Canadian federal election. Welcome to whatever the this is. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre continued his national man-spreading podcast tour, airing out his ideas in equal measure. Bloc leader Yves-François Blanchet asked for the French leaders debate to be postponed because of a Habs playoff qualification game. And Pierre Poilievre, he asked for the English debate to be postponed on the count of Jordan Peterson doing an Instagram live. Both equally Canadian and equally cursed by the devil. Liberal war room staffers went undercover at a Conservative conference and planted "Stop the Steal" buttons, only to tell a reporter at a bar hours later, which leads to our first product launch, Stop the Talk buttons. That's right, celebrating the milestone events of this past weekend, these buttons are perfectly designed to tell someone to subtly shut the up when they're giving out details of their false flag war room operation. Happy to be of service, I'm sure those will sell well. CBC News this week reported that Pierre Poilievre's rally sizes are approximately 1/10 of what the campaign has been claiming, finally putting to rest the rumors that the advance team travels with a ring light and 8,000 funhouse mirrors. Deputy Conservative leader Melissa Lantsman was criticized for personally investing in Brookfield, the very same company that Conservatives have been relentlessly attacking Mark Carney for running. And she's not alone. At least 7 Conservative MPs have held stock in Brookfield. At this point, it's clear. Brookfield is herpes. Every Conservative seems to have it. None of them want to admit it, and they definitely hate the person who gave it to them. And finally, responding to the "don't forget about my buffoonery" bat signal, Ontario Conservative Premier Doug Ford showed up wanting to f*** shit up.
If Corey was running that campaign, I don't think Mr. Poilievre would be in the position he's in right now.
That's right, that's Ford going off on the National Conservative campaign, pumping the tires of his campaign manager Corey Teneycke, and closing with the lines,
"Sometimes the truth hurts,"
which of course is known as the Etobicoke salute. At this point, Corey Teneycke has bloodled the Conservative campaign enough to start his own medical drama. I like that CBC Gem got that show. It'll probably go a couple of seasons. We've got more to cover in this episode, but first, thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. And the story this week, the debates. Every federal leader is now in Montreal for back-to-back English and French language debates. The political equivalent, by the way, of a KFC double down. So what are the goals for each party? What are each of the leaders trying to get out of this? We here at whatever the this is have you covered. Let's start with the undercard. The Bloc, Greens, and the NDP. And this handy Venn diagram should be able to guide us through it, with RIP right in the center. For the Bloc Québécois, their goal is to rip it up. It means the country, by the way. Rip up the country. Because for Yves-François Blanchet, he shows up to every debate like your high school French teacher who smokes during recess and thinks Canada's a mistake. He's not here to win. For the Greens, their goal is to let it rip. Jonathan Pedneau is 34, he's hot, he's Quebecois Obama, and has a Wikipedia page that reads like a Wes Anderson character. Filmmaker, journalist, war zone humanitarian, all from a single mom. Your goal, Jonathan, is to make people not ask why you're there, but start asking, where have you been all my life? Which brings us to the NDP, because their goal is to prevent RIP. Jagmeet needs to ensure that he doesn't experience the chin music of pavement as he avoids hitting the floor. He needs to say care a lot: healthcare, pharmacare, dental care, childcare. Then remind everyone all the cool stuff in Trudeau's agenda, that was the NDP doing the work, while the Liberals took credit and ghosted the group chat, only to totally forget about you when the new guy arrived. Which brings us to the main event, Pierre Poilievre and Mark Carney, like Mike Tyson and Jake Paul with less elder abuse. The Venn diagram for them, right in the middle, it's normal. And if you're Mark Carney and the Liberals, your goal is to be normal. You're the Bank of Canada governor, the Bank of England boss. For the debates, you're auditioning for relatable Canadian. Ditch the hedge fund vibes, talk about housing without getting an erection for a development process, talk about economy without quoting the GDP, and above all, be normal, even if your net worth isn't. We'll never know. And that brings us to Pierre Poilievre. His goal? It's to act normal. Like Method Daniel Day, this won't be easy for you because you have to make it look effortless. You've been in full-time angry YouTuber mode for the last 2 years, raging about woke elites while wearing your $700 glasses and then ditching those $700 glasses, but seeing the electorate worse somehow. These debates for you will be about vibes, not volume. So smile like you're not learning it. Use your hands like they belong to you maybe. And most of all, remember, acting normal sometimes means you stop talking. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe on YouTube and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Also, please share it with your network. For exclusive content and to support our progressive advocacy, visit forwardcanada.ca. Join a growing movement of those fighting for progress on healthcare, education, workers' rights, public services and institutions, the environment, and much, much more.